Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Lucky Strikes blowing smoke rings at you from the studios of Comfortably Zoned Radio. And it's time once again for shapers along the way as you listen to the broadcast. I'm your host, Peter Trunk, and my co-host, as usual, is Ron Rabinovitz. Ron, how are you today?
Good, Peter. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm doing
Good,
fine.
man.
I'm excited. We have one of our favorite guests on. We have a bunch of favorite guests. This is among the most favorite, and that is Bernie Rose from Florida, live from Florida. Bernie, how are you?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for the nice intro. Nice to be back.
Hi, Bernie.
With you guys. Hi, Ron.
Yeah, good to have you back.
It's good to have you back. And thank
you.
God you're okay after the weather that you had to endure.
Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, it's, just for one moment when you see what's happened, down in the Keys and Puerto Rico and Mexico even, you realize that we skated, we were on the edge of it, and then it didn't come here. It was supposed to come right here.
Where are you living? Where are you living, Bernie?
I'm in Boynton Beach, which is just a little south of West Palm Beach.
Okay, so you're on the East Coast. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, the storm initially, they said was coming straight here. So.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, thank God it
But
didn't.
it went west, and then the second one followed in and pretty much destroyed Puerto Rico. So you feel good that you kind of missed it, but you feel terrible when you look at what's happening around with everything.
I feel so terrible about Puerto Rico. It's just terrible.
Oh.
Gosh, terrible. And
that's really hard.
Our administration, right?
And one of the ways that we escape from stuff like that is we follow baseball, all three of us.
Yeah.
We're going to discuss some baseball now, not to make anything trivial at all about the horrible aftermath of the storm, but we're going to switch gears right here, talk a little bit about baseball. I saw something today. Our mutual friend Bill Hall is starting what he calls Clem Labine Week on his Facebook page of Brooklyn Dodger Nostalgia Society, and I know a bunch of stuff about Carl Erskine, but I was just curious to see if I could pick something else up. I mean, did I say Carl Erskine? I got Carl on my mind. I mean Clem Labine. Yeah. I know a whole lot of stuff about Clem Labine, but I figured, let me just go and look and see if I find any tidbit that I might jump out at me from the page. So I went to Baseball Reference, and I looked him up. And for some reason, they always have the batting statistics first, even for pitchers. And I noticed right away that in his lifetime in the major leagues, Clem Labine hit 3 home runs. And then I saw he hit them all in 1 year. Really? And then I saw he hit them all in 1955. And then I saw he only had 3 hits all year. And then I saw his batting average was .097. He was 3 for 31. All 3 hits were home runs.
3 home runs. Oh, my God.
So I learned all of the things that I thought I knew about Clem Labine, the great Dodger pitcher from the 50s.
Yep.
I learned something new today.
You sure did.
He had 3 hits in 1955, and every one of them was a home run. How do you like that?
Unbelievable.
Pretty nice, huh?
That was a good year to
tremendous.
have 3 home runs.
Yeah.
That was.
It was a good year for that. It was a good year for that.
Was. Yeah,
Let's defer to our friend Bernie for a minute, and let's speed forward from 1955 to 2017. The Dodgers of 2017 have been on a crazy ride, almost like the cyclone in a very well-known part of Brooklyn. They've been up, they've been down, they've been up, they've been down. They've been way up, and they've been way down. So, without further ado, Mr. Bernie Rose, tell us a little bit about this year's Dodgers.
Well, it's really been incredible, as everybody knows. The two most striking streaks back to back like that, I think, is a first. I mean,
it is.
To break records of since the 1912 Giants of winning 43 or tying it anyway, 43 out of 50 games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to just be so far ahead of everybody, and then to go to a tremendous losing streak, it made every Dodger fan shake in their boots.
It sure did. It sure did.
You know, I mean, it has to be. It just is. And with all the struggles they've had in the postseason, and I'm not even talking about the last 4 years, I'm talking about the last 29 years.
Okay.
Because they've, and I didn't look it up, but so many playoff appearances from the Piazza Caros Dodgers, you know, to even before that, you know, the team right after they won in '88.
Right.
Probably made a few playoffs as well. I mean, and then all through the last 15 years, they don't go very long without making the playoffs.
Right.
And I was always so positive in my whole life following them. Whenever even when there were no playoffs, when they just went into the World Series, or better yet, when the playoffs first started and they were playing the Pirates or the Phillies all the time, I knew they were going to beat them, and they always did. They always went to the World Series. Maybe they lose to the Yankees, but I don't want to get off track. So they have, in the last 29 years, disappointed so many times, and this looked like it was the year. Mm-hmm. And now we're right back where we started. So I guess we are going to discuss the reasons why over the next few minutes.
All right, and before we do that, let me just say that our guest is Bernie Rose, and we're talking with Bernie tonight about the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have won 100 games, and I know all three of us would have signed on for that last March.
Right.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely right. They've won 100 games, and yet, like Bernie just finished saying, they're sort of the kind of a team that you look at skeptically now, especially if you're a Dodger fan and you got the heebie-jeebies. This is a team for the first time in baseball history that won 15 out of 16 games and then lost 15 out of 16 games.
Right.
That's never been done before.
It's
never been done before. So here we go. Now we're going to go into what can we expect from the five-time, I'm saying this the wrong way, 5th year in a row that they won the National League West. They played it again this year, 5 years in a row, which is yay, 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 and all that. What can we expect, Bernie Rose?
Well, we could expect the team to show up like it played for 3-4 straight months, or we can expect a classic meltdown again. I don't know. I'd like to think I've rediscovered my confidence to some degree because they have home field advantage, and they're a little more experienced now, even though, you know, Bellinger's a rookie still, but I'm not worried about him. I keep going back to that one play that Seager made that 2 years ago in the playoffs when he didn't cover third base because they could have won Game 5 and beaten the Mets. Their game could still be 2-2. But I don't, you know, it just seems like something always happens. Like Kershaw getting bombed in the 7th inning against the Cardinals when you never would have expected that. And then again in the 7th inning a few days later, not bombed, but, you know, he was doing great. It was 2-0. So I don't know what we can expect, except we can expect them to fight down to the last out, and maybe this time they do it.
I hope so. I hope so.
Before I turn it over to you guys again, I thought, a couple of months ago, the Cubs, no way, no how. Even if they win a division, there's 3 games over 500 or something, there's no way they could beat the Dodgers. And now all of a sudden, they're hot.
They're hot. They're
healthy.
Yep.
And, they are a team that maybe, you want to, be a little afraid of.
No, you just said they're healthy. How healthy are the Dodgers, Bernie Rose?
Not so healthy. Not so healthy.
No, they're not.
Taylor's, first of all, Taylor's on a terrible slump. Seager's injured, his elbow. Turner's on a slump. I mean, so there you got 3 of your big hitters. Puig's in the doghouse right now.
Right.
So you don't know. It's just,
can I just butt in there, Ronnie?
Sure.
For a second. You said Puig is in the doghouse, and probably 90% of our listeners are thinking, yeah, he's in the doghouse because he tried to steal second base, and he didn't even slide, and he injured himself, and he was. That's not why he's in the doghouse.
No.
He's in the doghouse because the very next day,
he
showed up late.
Yesterday, he showed up.
He showed up late.
That's right.
The very next day.
Robbie,
very next day.
He was supposed to play last night, and he was benched.
What the hell is wrong with him?
Yeah.
And Seager's elbow is not the only thing that's hurting Corey Seager. He also has a bum ankle or foot that he fouled the ball off.
Exactly.
So here you got a kid at shortstop. You got a kid at shortstop, and everybody, you don't even have to be a Dodger fan. Everybody knows that Corey Seager plays like he's been in the league for 7 or 8 years.
Right.
Even though he's only been in there for like 1.5 or 1 3/4, whatever. He plays the game like it's supposed to be played, et cetera, all the cliches. But here, think about this. Here's a kid whose ankle is killing him and whose elbow is killing him.
Right.
If he starts to throw the ball from shortstop to first base differently because of his ankle and his elbow, he's going to screw up his whole game.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He has a chance to screw up his entire game.
Right.
And that's why when I see him not in the lineup, even though there's only 5 games left or so, 4 games left, whatever it is, I think as young as he is, he needs to rest those injuries, because if he's going to play a 9-inning game, that means absolutely nothing. And he's going to throw the ball a different way because of his ankle. He's going to throw the ball a different way because of his elbow. He's going to swing the bat a different way because of his ankle. He's going to swing the bat a different way because of his elbow. I say keep him on a bench. Keep him on a bench, give him whirlpool treatments or whatever you're giving him, and let him get over it. He'll bounce back. He's got a young body; he can bounce back.
Yeah,
I don't see them playing him night after night. I don't think
they got to get him treatment, and they've got to get him ready.
Treatment.
But he's been in a major slump also, but that's also due to injuries, I'm sure.
Injuries, sure.
Turner sort of came out of his slump. Turner's been holding steady in the 320s, and if he didn't get that flu, he might even been able to make a run at the batting title, because the guy from Colorado has come down some, and it's within range.
Taylor's in a slump.
Taylor has been in a huge slump. You know what? He hit a home run, and he doubled in the last couple of games.
What I saw. The game I went through, he hit a triple.
Yeah.
But Justin Turner also got hit on the thumb at the game I was at Philly.
That worries me.
When you hurt your thumb, it's hard to swing a bat.
It's hard to swing a bat. He wasn't
in the lineup after that. It freaked me out, but it turned out he had the flu, like really bad.
Peter, was it on his right hand?
I'm sorry?
Was it on his
Which hand did he get
hand?
hit on?
I think it's on his right hand. I believe.
Right hand. So that's
throwing in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So.
But he's playing tonight, so I guess he's ready to go. But he was sick as a dog.
Too. Yeah, he was really sick.
Puig's in the lineup tonight.
Yeah.
And
how do you rate Darvish, Bernie Rose? How do you rate Darvish?
Well, if last night is what we're going to see, I'll rate him highly.
Yeah,
but
me too.
He's been average for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Maybe some games above, some games below. So the thing that's scaring everybody is that everybody besides Kershaw tends to just go 5 innings. And even if they're not giving up more than a run or two, they're at 95 pitches in 5 innings.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's no good.
Exactly.
It's no good.
Oral Hershiser last night, Oral Hershiser, either last night or the night before, said something very interesting. He said that although Darvish is a world-known star pitcher all over the world and everything, he's always been a very good pitcher and all that, when he had his elbow surgery, his mechanics got screwed up. And he said that he said it much better than I'm saying it now, believe me. But anyway, he alluded to the fact that there are times when Darvish has his mechanics perfect. Like last night was one of those times. And other times he's all fouled up. So Honeycutt, the Dodger pitching coach, Rick Honeycutt, has to keep a very he's got to watch him very, very carefully because there's something, of course, they're not going to tell us what it is, but I'm sure Honeycutt knows what it is, that he starts to do, and he starts to do it the wrong way, et cetera, and this and that, and he leaves the ball out over the plate or whatever, and he starts getting rocked. So that's something that Hershiser said, and I picked up on that. Where else do you want to go with this? We can go around for each player, or you want to speak generally, specifically? How do you want to work this, Bernie?
What I'd like to talk about too is the 25 players on the list. Who are they going to be? I mean,
I don't know.
We know we have Barnes and Grandal as catchers. Okay,
absolutely.
That's 2. We got Bellinger, Forsythe, Seager, Turner, and Utley. That's 5. That's 7. You got Ethier, Hernandez, Puig, and Taylor. That's 11. Okay. Then how many pitchers are you going to carry?
Well, for the first series, you don't need as many starters for sure.
Oh, you know, you can go 14 and 11 the first series.
Exactly.
You can go 14 players, 11 pitchers.
Well, I got 11 players. I have 11 pitchers here. But
you can go 11. You can go 11 and 14, Ronnie, on the first.
Okay.
Because it's only best 3 out of 5.
Right. So I've got 11 players and 11 pitchers. That's 22. So
okay. You're looking for the last 3 players. Okay.
Okay. There's 5 on the list. Which 3 are we keeping? Culberson, Farmer, Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, geez,
Granderson,
I'm not even sure he should be on it.
Granderson and Peterson.
All right. My first
two
that
stick
out.
Out of there?
The first 2 that stick out to me that I want is Gonzalez and Granderson. And the reason is obvious. The reasons are obvious because they've been there before. Okay. They're older guys. They know what they're doing, and they can come off the bench if need be.
Right.
Those are the 2 guys I want. So that brings us up to 13. So we need one more player. One more, and when we have
Peterson.
Is Gonzalez healthy enough? That's the thing. Is he still in pain? I mean, can he do?
Is he healthy enough for one at bat a game?
Well,
that's all we need him for.
Gibson was.
Well, some people are talking that Farmer. They might keep Farmer.
Here's my problem with Farmer. I have nothing against the young man, but he's never been there before.
No.
Right.
He's never been there before. He's never been there before. I like somebody who is tested, who has been in front of all those millions of people with the eyeballs at the TV and everything. So I would get that. That's immediately why I went for Gonzalez and Granderson,
right?
Because they've been there before. Now Farmer's never been there. Peterson, believe it or not, has been there.
Yes, he has.
Oh yeah.
Peterson hit postseason home runs, so he's been there.
Yeah, but
boy,
I'd lean toward Peterson.
And then,
but wait a minute, Ronnie and Bernie. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I just named the three guys, and they're all left-handed hitters. That's probably not what the Dodgers are going to do.
No.
Well, you got to have some. But how you gonna play Trace Thompson? He hasn't played all year. I mean,
no, he won't be on there. He won't.
So and Hernandez, these guys, Hernandez, Peterson, and I want to talk about Forsythe, for a minute.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy? These guys have hit 209 pretty much the whole year. The whole year.
Yeah.
And every time there's a clutch, and the hits from those 209s are never clutch, except occasionally. I have watched a whole season of these guys just let the team down, even through all the winning.
Yeah.
But what you just said about Peterson, he really had a horrible year, but he played a lot when they won those 43 out of 50 games.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that says something,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not sure what, but when he was in the lineup, they were winning.
Yeah.
Here, now listen.
But I don't like his production.
I want a 1 or 2 word answer to my question. What do you think of Grandal? No, seriously, I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be
fair.
I know.
Fair.
That's a tough question. Go ahead, Ron.
Fair. Just fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a good...
We both remember the Brooklyn Dodgers, do we not?
Yeah, right.
We both remember the Brooklyn Dodgers. When Roy Campanella would have his MVP year, he would inadvertently break a bone in his hand or something, and then he'd have a very poor year after that. Then they would have an operation, and he'd come back, he'd win the MVP the next year. Unbelievable. 42 home runs, hit 341, driving 140. Unbelievable. Then he would break a finger or something like that, and the next year he'd be down. Then the next year he'd be up. If you go to the record book and you look at his down year, if you look at Grandal's numbers, off the top of my head, Grandal has 22, 55, I think something like that, 22 home runs, 55 RBIs. Think about Roy Campanella having 22 home runs and 55 RBIs in a season. Never happened. Never happened.
No.
Okay.
The word I would come up with maybe would be curious, because I don't get this guy. I just don't get him. When he's hot, he can get his average up to 270 even and hold it there for 2 weeks. 3 weeks, then he goes down for a couple of weeks, but inevitably he is what he is. He's a 240 hitter, or worse, and he hits the home runs when you don't need him most of the time.
Nothing, he hits a home run.
Nobody else.
The Dodgers, Grandal is 7-0 now.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. That's no good. Yeah.
When you need
I
it,
think
he
they
doesn't
should
get
have
it.
Barnes as catcher. Now they have.
We're looking
second. Didn't they have that?
We are looking.
Yesterday? Did they have Barnes playing second base yesterday?
Yeah.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah.
He didn't look
Which
so
leads
good.
me, if I could, for 1 minute. One of you guys, the last couple of games, especially after last night, because I have watched the whole season of Forsythe, just be a complete letdown. Nothing that he was supposed to do has he done. And
last
then all
night
of
he
a
got on
sudden
base 4 straight times.
He goes,
You know what it looked like to me last night?
Walk, right? It's a home run. And
wait a minute. Right. Last night it looked as if Forsythe knew what was coming. He was confident. He was confident. He was aggressive.
Yep.
I don't know how many times I've seen Forsythe do this during the season in May, June, July, and August. I don't know how many times I've seen Forsythe in a close game with men on base and stuff. The count would be 2-0. He wouldn't even make a move like he was interested in swinging.
Right.
2-1. Keith Hernandez always says, when a batter's not ready to hit, and the count's 2-0 or 2-1 or 3-1, if he's looking to take a pitch, he's not a good hitter. Never was, never will be. And that's what Hernandez said, and that's what I've seen Forsythe do the entire season.
Exactly.
The entire season,
right.
He's got a hitter's count. He's got a hitter's count, and he lets a fastball go right down the middle to make the count 2-1 instead of 2-0, instead of swinging the bat.
And I hate to say it, a lot of these guys have.
Yeah.
They've been setting records for walks. I think too many times they're looking for walks. And that's why you're seeing a lot of called third strikes. I mean, you always see that, but I think you see more because these guys think they're always going to walk. You got to swing when it's 3-2 and it's close.
Well, the number of people we've left on scoring positions has been unbelievable.
You know who leads the team in runs scored? Who leads the team in runs scored? Who's 1 and 2? Number 1 and number 2 in runs scored. The Los Angeles Dodgers this year. This is a 100-win team.
Right.
The leader in runs scored. The leader in runs scored is 86.
Is Bellinger?
86, and the second guy is 85. Okay. Think of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah.
They had 5 guys who scored 100 runs. Gilliam would score 100 runs. Reese would score 100 runs. Snyder would score 100 runs. Hodges would score 100 runs. And it just went on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to take it one step further. If you take this team, this 100-win team, forget the pitchers for a second. Think about the guys. Just think about the ball players. How many of these guys would actually make a Brooklyn Dodger roster?
Many.
Not many. How about 1 or 2? Like Bellinger would make it. Bellinger would make it, and Steger would make it. I don't even know about Justin Turner. Maybe he'd make it too.
I think
certainly no one else.
Say Turner. You know, Turner still is top 5 in on base percentage.
Okay.
In the league.
We'll include Turner. We'll include Turner. Would Forsythe start for the Brooklyn Dodgers?
No way.
No.
Please.
Would Granderson? Would Peterson? No. Would not. Even Taylor wouldn't start for it.
Peterson wouldn't start for the one of the worst teams. I don't know. I'm down on him.
I don't know how the hell they won 100 games.
Yeah.
They
did. It was unbelievable.
I don't know how they did it. I really don't.
Well, 4 guys. And Kershaw.
Crazy.
So 4 guys: Kershaw, Jansen.
Yeah,
and
you know, Kershaw was out there for a while. You remember that? Even during that.
They kept winning too.
And they kept winning. Yeah. So who knows?
I don't know. My question to you, gentlemen,
Go ahead.
On the strength of last night and the last couple of games, Forsythe has had some doubles, and all of a sudden it looks like maybe he's coming around. But after a whole season of nothing, is he going to start Game 1?
I don't think so. I don't think he should.
Well,
who should be at second
against us in Game 1?
I don't know.
If it's a left-hander, he starts. If it's a right-hander, Utley starts.
Yeah.
And Utley has been a disappointment. I mean, I know he's a spot player, but you expect more. There's just been a handful of guys that have just not gotten it done, which leads to what you just said a moment ago. How did they win all these games? How did they win 43 out of 50 games?
Did you guys ever root? Did you guys ever root for a team that won a lot, went through the playoffs and won, went to the World Series and won, and now the 7th game is over, or the deciding game, whatever it was, and they're the champions of the world, and you're happy as a pig in shit because maybe you're 11, maybe you're 22, maybe, it doesn't matter, but you're happy as a pig in shit, and you swear, you're praying to God that they don't get rid of anybody because everybody on the team is so perfect for this team. Please don't get rid of so-and-so. He's perfect. This Dodger team, now I'm a Dodger fan. You both know that. Right. If the Dodgers go all the way and they win the World Series this year, I'll be praying that they get rid of about 10 guys.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get rid of Forsythe for sure.
This is not one of those teams where you pray that they keep everybody.
No. That's right.
I remember back in 2000, whatever it was. Now people are going to be saying you don't know your history. Well, I don't know my history. I'm getting old. But I think it was 2004. The Red Sox won the World Series. 2011 or 12, they won the World Series. 2013, they won the World. They won 3 World Series within like 6 years. And I like the Red Sox a lot. And after they won those World Series, I said to myself, oh, please keep this team together. Please keep this team together. This team is perfect. Yeah. I don't say that about the 2017 Dodgers. No. They can go and they can win, and they can be champions of baseball. Get rid of Baez. Get rid of Cingrano. Get rid of Watson. Get rid of Forsythe. Get rid of the list goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? I've been jumping, and Ronnie knows this. Ronnie knows this, what I'm about to say. I've been jumping over the fence back and forth about Yasiel Puig ever since he came up. I've been on one side of the fence, oh, he's going to do this, he's going to leave him alone, he's going to do. Then I jump to the other side, and then I jump back to the other side, then I jump back to the other side. You want to know something? Get rid of him. Get rid of him, and I'll tell you why. Not because he tried to steal second on his own and didn't slide and was thrown out, but because he was late the next day. Get rid of him. We don't need that. You don't need that on your team.
No.
You just don't need it.
No, they got to make some changes. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, who do you want to start in the outfield?
Go ahead, Bernie.
Assuming.
I mean, who do you want to start? You tell us, then I'll let Ron go, and I'll see if I agree with you guys. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to make the assumption that Seager is going to be at short. So we can keep Taylor in center. I mean, you have to. And it's got to be Puig and Ethier. I don't see any other way around it. And yet they're not going to start Ethier. They won't do it. And I think they should. I think it's a mistake.
I think they should, too. So if they don't start Ethier, who are they going to put in left?
That's the thing. I mean,
who are they going to put in left?
Granderson has done nothing. And let's say you need a right-hander. Hernandez has done nothing. I mean, I'd rather have Ethier take a shot against the lefty, to be honest with you, than have these guys that have done nothing.
Right.
And I just don't know that they're going to do it. As I look at a list of outfielders, it's just a shame that we've reached this point that Gonzalez isn't healthy. Because if you would have had Bellinger in left and a healthy Gonzalez at first, this team is infinitely better.
Oh, absolutely. It's a different team.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's what we were looking for.
Peter, what do you think in the outfield? Who's going to start?
Well, you know what? I know that Bernie, and maybe even you, but I know Bernie is not too high on Jock Peterson. And I understand why. I'm not going to try to talk his case up or anything like that. But I would say I would put Taylor in left. I'd put Peterson in center, and I'd put Puig in right. Because if you here's my now watch him hit 2 Grand Slam home runs and make me a big liar. Each year in the opening game, let's say Kershaw gives up 1 run. But he's at 99 pitches after 5 innings. So they take him out, and the Dodgers lose 2-1 or 3-1.
Right.
Okay? So now they're down 1-0, and Ethier went 0 for 4 and struck out 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And that definitely could happen. That definitely could happen. How many at-bats does he have this year, Ethier? Major League at-bats.
Not many.
Not many. I can tell you.
Not many at all. Not many at all, but you know what? I don't. Yeah, there you go. I don't dislike him.
Yeah.
I really don't dislike him. I just think
it's
very difficult for him to be in the swim of things after 27 Major League at-bats. Now, I saw him come up. I saw him come up at Citizens Bank Park, and he had a pinch hit home run.
Right.
Yeah.
So, baseball is a funny game. Baseball is a very funny game.
But but I just know that Peterson is going to go 0 for 4. I mean,
okay.
No matter what, you're right.
Yeah, he looks lost up there. He just looks lost.
And even
just
they
like
sent him
he did
down
in the second half of his rookie year.
He was batting under 200 in the minor leagues.
Yes, you're right.
When they sent him down.
He was.
Yeah. So he's not
But that being said, I could understand it only because through most of that winning, that was your outfield. Just what you said, Peter.
Yep.
And
and when they sent, if you remember this, and if you don't remember it, when the show is over, go look it up. Because I happen to remember this. One of the things I remember is when the Dodgers sent Jock Peterson down, that's when they started losing. They lost 11 in a row, and they sent.
That's right, they did. You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
Now I'm not saying because they missed his 201 batting average or whatever the hell it was the next time they sent him down. 207 batting. I'm not saying that, but isn't it weird? Isn't it weird how baseball works? Okay,
it is.
Send down Jock Peter. The team's like 90 and the team's like 90 and 30 or something. So they send him down, and all of a sudden they lose 11 in a row.
That's right. And then they bring in Granderson during that losing streak.
And I like Granderson a lot. I like Granderson a lot, but it's over for Grandy.
It's over.
Yeah,
I think it's over.
It's over for Grandy.
It's over for Utley. It's over for Gonzo. It's over.
Too. Right.
That's
okay.
Right.
It's over. Who are we most afraid of in these playoffs?
Anybody.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at
with this team now. Anybody.
Yeah.
I say anybody. No, I'm not trying to be funny.
I know.
Arizona.
I know.
Think of Arizona. Their 2 pitchers, Greinke and Ray. They could stick it up their keister 2 nights in a row, and you're down 2-0, and you're down 2-0, and going back to Arizona without Kershaw.
Yeah,
it would be over.
I'm worried about Arizona. I am. I think they would be one of the toughest ones. Yep.
The best thing that could happen. The best thing that could happen is that Colorado beats Greinke in the wild card game.
And spend him.
Greinke just got his ass.
I know what you mean. Spend him.
Greinke, the Marlins just wiped the floor with him the other day.
Yeah.
And it was the Marlins, right?
I think so. Somebody lit him up for like 8 runs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really lit him up. Yeah.
And the Dodgers, except for really the last start or 2, they've handled Greinke. They've hit him, and they've hit him early.
Right.
And Robbie Ray has been killing the Dodgers.
Yeah, he sure has. He sure has.
And so if they use Greinke and win the wild card game, and then Ray shuts out the Dodgers and Kershaw loses 1-0, like you just said, it's trouble in River City.
Trouble in River City.
That's right.
Yeah. And you can laugh all you want. It's a long-ass winter. It's going to be a long-ass winter.
Yeah.
That being said, if Kershaw wins game 1 of every series, they've got a good shot to win all of them.
Sure they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really going to come down to game 1 with Kershaw in everything, because they're up 1-0, and Darvish and Hill, or Wood maybe is going to go before Hill, I think those are going to be your 4 starters in the first series.
Right.
Especially if it's, I guess, against Arizona, right? They want the lefties.
Would we play the wild card winner? Is that how it's going to be, or has not
I believe
been determined yet?
Yeah, the Cubs and the Nationals fight it out.
Okay.
I think that's
so
the
we
way
would
it's going
actually
to be.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, because the team with the most wins, which would be, well, it appears to be the Dodgers would have the most wins. They would play the weakest, quote unquote, the weakest team, and that would be the wild card guys, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other two would fight it out, Nationals and the Cubbies.
Right.
You know,
I'm afraid of the Nationals. I'm afraid of the Nationals more than the Cubbies.
Well, right now,
I am too.
Strasburg is on fire also. So
they're a strong team.
They are very strong.
It's not going to be a cakewalk, guys. It's not going to be a cakewalk.
Oh, no.
Not at all. That's right.
So, who's going to make the pitching staff?
Okay, let's do it right now.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Kershaw.
Darvish and Wood.
But you're not trying to be funny.
All right, your 4 starters. Who are going to be? Kershaw, Darvish, Wood, and Hill, or Ryu?
What do you think, Baron?
You know what?
Ryu or Hill? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Wood. You know, if he scares me a little bit, but he's been good.
He has been good. Yes.
He's been good.
Yeah.
And Hill, he's up and down, but he's had some good starts. And, you know, you take away the first month of the season, I'm betting his ERA it could be under 3.
Yeah,
If you take away the first 6 weeks.
We put Ryu in the bullpen.
What's that?
And we put Ryu in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute, Bernie. It works both ways. You said if you take Wood's first 3 or 4 starts and erase them or delete them.
Well, that was Hill. That was Hill.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. He said it was
Hill. All right,
Hill. Yeah.
Hill. Right. You could do the opposite with a couple of their pitchers.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, was it Wood who had under 2 ERA for like 3 or 4 months?
Oh, he was incredible. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Since then, it's got to be over 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Because now it's sitting like at 220 or 2, whatever.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was, it's going to be very interesting. You know, it all depends. You know, because when they play Washington, I think they're going to need more. We're going to need more right-handed pitchers. You know, if they play Washington, I think you can go with more lefties against Arizona. Although, if they play the way they played them the last 6 games, they're down 5-0 before the second inning is gone.
Yeah.
So you're playing Washington.
Lately, the Dodgers starting pitchers have gotten rocked in the first inning. Have you noticed that? And then they've settled down the second, third, fourth inning. I wonder what's going on there. Yeah.
You know what else? What else I hate? They never have a lockdown inning.
No.
Dodger starting pitchers never have a lockdown inning. And by that I mean very simply, if the Dodgers score, let's say Dodgers score 2 runs. When you go back out on the mound, you're supposed to shut that team down.
Absolutely.
They always give up a run or 2. They always give it back. They always give it back. They don't have a shutdown inning.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, the way I'm looking at it is, it's probably going to be Kershaw, Darvish, Wood, and Hill.
Wood and Hill. Yeah, that's what I'd say too. Okay, then their bullpen. What do you got in the bullpen?
Well, Baez is going to be on the team.
Yeah.
And he basically has
He's going to be on the team.
Baez.
You got to have Fields. And
you got to have field.
I guess Maeda and Ryu are going to be in the pen.
Yeah, that's right.
And you got to have Morrow, and of course
you got to have Morrow.
Jansen.
Got to have Morrow.
Got to have Jansen. Got to have Jansen.
So that's at least 6 already.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You got to have Watson, I think. Watson.
Okay, that's 10. Yeah.
So now where do you go? Is Stripling going to be on the team?
Stripling, no. McCarthy, Raven.
McCarthy going to be on the team? Oh, yeah, Kenta Maeda.
Oh, by the way, you didn't see
McCarthy
the other night. You didn't see McCarthy the other night. You didn't watch the game. McCarthy's got a new wind-up. McCarthy's got a new wind-up right out of Japan. You know how Nomo used to go put his hands up over his head and lean back and wait a second and then go through with his wind-up? That's what McCarthy does now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sitting there watching him. Wait a minute. I'm sitting there watching him do this. I've been watching baseball for well over 60 years.
Yeah.
Okay? I have never seen a major league pitcher change his wind-up in September.
No, never.
Right.
You got that right.
And he changed it drastically.
He did pretty good.
I know he did, but he changed his wind-up drastically in September.
Drastically. Yeah. Well, he wasn't there before September.
You think they're going to have the guts to put Paredes on the team?
Who?
Paredes? No.
Paredes.
I don't think so.
No.
They might. They might try him in the first. They might try him in the first series and use him as a mop-up, either behind by 6 or ahead by 6, and see what he does. But as for putting him on against Washington, or the Cubs, I don't think so.
No,
he's impressed me, that kid. But he's not a kid. He's 30 years old. But
right.
and I forgot about Maeda. He had a nice stretch this year too after a horrible start.
We counted him, Bernie. We counted
him as a reliever. We counted him as a reliever.
Yeah.
Well, and Avalon's going to be on the team too.
Yeah.
Is he?
And it looks like Walker Buehler just might be as well.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think Buehler will be there.
So if you got Avalon, then you got the whole staff. You got 11 pitchers.
I don't think Buehler will be there, and I'll tell you why. He's never been there.
No, he hasn't.
He will be. No,
he's wet behind the ears.
He probably should.
He hasn't looked so good.
I was just wondering out loud whether they might.
He's not looking so good.
A minute ago, Bernie made a statement that made me smile over here. Bernie said that he was talking about Paredes, and he said he impressed me. He looked good certain times when I saw him and stuff. And I'm smiling over here because every damn Dodger pitcher impressed me at one time or another.
At one time or another, right.
At one time or another, they all impressed me. Some impressed me in April, some impressed me in May or June, and July and August.
Exactly.
It's so true.
They all impress you, but what the hell? I mean,
these are our bums. These are our
what
bums.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Ron, have you ever seen anything like this? I mean, you get guys like Hill and Maeda and Ryu, who in the first 5-6 weeks were really terrible, and then they had hot streaks that were unbelievable, and then they revert back.
Exactly. Yeah,
I've never seen anything like that.
I have a feeling that some of these reverting back is they're still injured or they're still having a problem or something. I don't know. They don't tell you everything. They just tell you.
Oh, that's for sure.
They want you to hear. Right.
That's for damn sure. You know what?
Correct.
When this season is over, win or lose,
you
can bet your bottom dollar people like just for instance, okay? This is for instance.
Right.
When the World Series is over, it doesn't even matter if the Dodgers are in the World Series. But when the World Series is over, the Dodgers will announce that Seager's having an operation on his elbow.
I hear it.
And that so and so is gonna, and Turner's gonna have an operation on his knuckle, or and Kershaw's going to have a procedure on his lower back, and who God knows who else is going to have, Gonzo's going to have his neck fused or something. There's all kinds of stuff that we don't know.
Yeah, that's very
right
true.
now. We have no clue.
They're
bullshitting you right to your face. And they should.
Sure they are.
All the teams do it.
Should. Of course they
All the teams do it.
Right.
All the teams do it. If you think that Bryce Harper is going to be 100% in this postseason, you got to be kidding me. There's no way that kid can be 100%. He's been banged up all year, all different ways.
Yeah. Right.
These guys are hurting, man. They've played 160 games.
162 games. That's a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, that's at the end of every conversation. We're going to have to wait and see. And that's
of course.
Because what else?
As long as we don't
have to wait and see.
Wait till next year.
Wait till next year.
Wait till next year. I'm tired of saying that. 29 times in a row I've said it.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Wait till next year. All right.
We're all tired of that. That's why the way it's turned out around from earlier in the season, why we're all like, spinning here. Our brains are spinning.
This losing streak really scared the shit out of me. Really did. Really scared the crap out of me.
There was a time during that losing streak. Now, I know Bernie had other important things to think of because of the horrible, horrible storms that hit where he lived. And I was very, very fortunate not to have to worry about stuff like that. But there were times, I'm going to tell you the truth, even though I've been watching baseball for 60 years, it seemed to me that the Dodgers were never going to win another game.
That's right. They were like
sleepwalking. It seemed to me that they're going to lose everything.
They're
going to wind up like 91 and 71 or something, or whatever the hell they were.
They weren't aggressive. They weren't nothing. It was just like they were sleepwalking.
Like they were playing underwater.
How does a team do that when they're going so hot like that, and all of a sudden they hit a brick wall like this? I mean,
because it looked like they were never going to lose another game for a while there.
I understand. I understand where teams get cold sometimes, but my God, they turn to ice.
I know. It was an amazing turnabout, and I'm just going to say this: if Taylor and hopefully Seager can just recoup a little bit over these next few days, if those guys can get on, if they start hitting anywhere near what they were hitting earlier, I'm not worried about Turner and Bellinger.
Right.
I think if these guys are on, then they got a shot to win any one of these. But if it's not happening, I hope that we get some enjoyment out of these playoffs.
Well, here's what's so great. Here's what's so great about baseball. If we could divorce ourselves from worrying about the Dodgers, and I know that's impossible, but you just being a baseball purist for a second.
Yeah.
If the Dodgers go into the playoffs and they win 3 in a row in the first series, and then they win 4 out of 5 in the second series, and they win the World Series 4-2, we know we'll all be ecstatic and very happy, but that wouldn't shock you, would it? Would it shock you? No. It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. Baseball-wise, it wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't say, holy shit, I'm stunned. How did they do that? No, that's baseball. They could do it. Also, here's the sad part. If they go into the first series, let's say it's against Arizona, and Ray shuts them down and Kershaw loses 1-0, I could see them losing 3 in a row and they're out, and that wouldn't shock me. Would it disappoint me? Yes. Wouldn't shock me. Baseball-wise, it wouldn't shock me.
No.
So you can't be shocked, really.
No, you can't.
Nothing is going to stun you.
Peter, I like the first numbers you said, though, rather than the second one. I like from your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah, I know.
It should be
3-0.
Well, I'm right there with you,
the World Series. Yeah. That'd be great. Yeah.
Well, hopefully hopefully when we come back on this show, the three of us again in the future, in the very near future, will say, how the hell did Darvish pitch a no-hitter in the World Series? How the hell did Jock Peterson hit 4 home runs in one game in the World Series? And
God, are you listening, God? Are you listening?
Right. That's too funny. Now you're going a little too far.
Of course, and that's fun. And it's fun.
It's right.
It's fun.
It is.
That's right.
It's fun.
It is.
I mean, we've been baseball fans now for a pretty long time.
We've seen
a lot of stuff happen, both good and bad for our teams.
That's right.
And it's actually funny in a way. I know it won't be funny when and if they lose, a heartbreaker especially. Another 7th inning meltdown by Kershaw or something like that, and they lose and they get eliminated and stuff. It's not going to be very funny or fun times around our respective houses and stuff.
Right.
But baseball is baseball.
That's right. That's right.
And you know what?
Right.
There's something to be said about Kershaw, being Kershaw and winning 2 games in every series or something, if that's what needs to be done. It's time for him to do it, carry this team. Let him and Turner and Bellinger and Jansen carry this team. If those 4 guys can do what they can do, something very good can happen.
Well, if Kershaw wins, let's say 2 games in each of the playoff series and then 2 games in the World Series, and the Dodgers win it all, he will have moved himself into the same category as Bob Gibson and Sandy Koufax and that. Like if he pitches 5 shutouts or something in the postseason, and wins, he's 6-0, and he's 6-0 with 0.92 ERA. Yeah, he moves right into that echelon. Where people say just unbelievable. He put the team on his back and just carried them.
That's right.
Yeah, and as much as it pains me to say it, he'll be in the same class as Bumgarner.
It pains me to say it too.
Yeah,
even though obviously,
but
the career comparisons.
Wait a minute, Bernie. I have a good idea. Let's win 1 before we start chanting about 3. Like the Red Sox did and the Giants did. Let's just
throw
win
out
1
a scenario or 2.
Then we'll start bullshitting each other about how we can win another one and another one and stuff like that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And
look,
it'll be fun.
It's 50-50. They can do it. They cannot do it. So we'll just enjoy it.
It is, and no games end in a tie. They're either going to win or they're going to lose, and we're going to be glued to our TV sets, and we're going to be happy when they get a couple of doubles in a row or a stolen base or whatever. See, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for they're in the finals against the Cubs, and they're playing the Cubs, and they're at Dodger Stadium, and they steal. They just keep stealing. I have this dream, that the Dodgers are running the bases like they have Maury Wills or something like that.
Yeah.
They just keep stealing against the Cub pitchers because the Cub pitchers can't hold runners on, and they just keep and they run them ragged. I mean, I can see them stealing third base even, just going crazy. And Joe Madden's hair getting whiter and whiter and whiter. I can see that happening. Can't you see that happen, fellas? Please.
They had their time last year. Now it's our time.
I want to see those Dodgers, man. Stealing bases.
The announcers from the Diamondbacks, I think they're terrible. I don't know. I don't know if you ever listened to a game where they're broadcasting the game.
Oh boy,
I think they're terrible.
Horrible.
When they were, I was watching them a little bit the other night. The Dodgers clinched the pennant. I turned on the Arizona game, and they said, Dodgers just clinched the pennant. Big deal. We'll see them next month. They're such bunches really bad.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, second rate.
I don't like that either. But I can see.
No.
Wait a minute. I can see before we hang up because we're running over. I can see John Lester. I can see it. I can see it in my baseball brain right now. I can see John Lester not knowing what to do because he can't throw a pickoff. He can't throw to a base. I can see the Dodgers stealing his jock.
Yeah,
right.
I can see it.
I feel more confident against the Cubs, believe it or not, than the Nationals and the Diamondbacks right now.
Yeah,
all of those guys.
I agree.
Arrieta started pitching well again, but his ERA was over 4.2. Now it's like 3.5. But Lester's ERA is like 4.5. Their pitchers haven't been getting it done. Their hitters, I don't know, they've gotten hot, but I think the Dodgers can take them out.
Here's your nightmare. Here's your nightmare. Game 7 championship series.
Yep.
1-0 Dodgers ninth inning, or 0-0 ninth inning. Arrieta hits a home run off of Kershaw to win the game and the playoff for the Cubs. There's your nightmare right there.
Yeah.
Because he can hit. He can hit like Bumgarner. He can hit.
Yeah.
He's a hitter, boy.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know who leads the Dodgers in hitting? Either of you guys know? Who leads the Dodgers in batting average?
Turner.
I don't know. Turner.
Come on.
Not
Bernie
Turner?
said Turner. Ronnie, what do you say?
Kershaw.
Nope. Kershaw's hitting under 200.
Okay.
Kenley Jansen's hitting 500.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't.
He's 2 for 4, baby. Put him up as
you were
a
going to
hitter.
say something like that.
Pinch hitting.
Put him up as a pitch
He had a
hitter.
double, I think, in one of those games. It knocked in a run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's an ex-catcher, so he can hit.
He's an ex-catcher.
Yeah.
He can
He's
hit.
an ex-catcher. He can hit. He can hit.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, boy.
All right, guys.
Oh, well.
This has been fun. Has this been fun?
Guys, this is a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun to throw around the ideas and everything and the whatever. And I know a lot of people who listen to this show that do not like any part of the Los Angeles contingent. They call them the LA NLers. They don't even have the guts to call them the LA Dodgers. They call them the LA NLers. When they hear all of our shenanigans on this show and the Dodgers, if the Dodgers get eliminated again this fall in a couple of weeks, they're going to be all over us like white on rice. It's going to be horrible.
Yeah, they sure will be.
It's going to be horrible.
Dodger fans will be Dodger fans next year and the year after, God willing.
That's right. Let's just play the games. A week from tonight's the first wild card game. The Dodgers will be playing a week from Friday, I guess, the first playoff game.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
That'd
Okay.
Let's enjoy.
We'll all be glued to our sets. Okay. Listen, stay in touch online.
Yes.
Stay in touch online, my friends.
Okay.
Both of you.
Yeah.
And we'll talk again real soon. Thanks for a great show, fellas. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You bet.
Good night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Good night.